Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Loose Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and I'm here with my co host, Eli.
Oh yeah, ready to get back to it.
Absolutely. Had a little bit of a short hiatus, but we're back like we never left, about to talk about our favorite thing in the world, sports.
You already know.
Preferably our favorite sport, which is going on right now, which is football.
Yes, yes. A lot of action on my side, especially with the favorite team. So excited to get it all jumped into it.
Right. I saw you guys are looking at a new offensive coordinator. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That's going to be exciting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, you know, we missed a week. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
We bet a lot on the underdogs, and the underdogs did not bet back.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of tough stuff happened these past couple of weeks here. I mean, honestly, I feel like we haven't really missed too much. I think that's just my opinion, a little bit of controversy here and there, but all stuff we'll touch on.
We did miss quite a bit in the coach front. There are no open coaching positions anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
You know who didn't get a job?
Wait, it
Bill
was Cal.
Belichick and Mike Vrabel did not get a job. Washington just hired their
Really?
coach, and Seattle has an idea on who their coach is going to be.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Who hired Jack Del Rio?
Nobody hired Jack Del Rio.
Or not Del Rio, Rivera, Ron Rivera.
Nobody hired Rivera. He got fired. No one,
Okay.
like, he wasn't interviewing for positions anymore, or if he was, he wasn't talked
Uh,
about. People
nice.
who got interviews, which was Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel, they did not get the job.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, you know who was
Wow.
a surprising hire for me?
Who's up?
Dan Quinn got a starting job again as a head coach.
Really?
Yeah, he's head coach of the Commanders now.
Wait, who did he coach previously?
He used to coach the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan. He was the one who blew the 28-3 lead. It was Dan Quinn as head
Oh,
coach and Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator.
wow.
Yeah, so
Wow,
he
wow,
was the
wow.
defensive coordinator for Dallas for the last couple years, put together a pretty good defense.
Hmm.
And so I'm betting that Washington is hoping that that's going to be the case. They're going to build defense first. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a move. We'll see. We've
Yeah,
got
true.
we've got both Harbaughs back in the league now, with
Yeah, dude,
Jim
that's
Harbaugh taking over the Chargers.
yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggest coaching news there. Jim Harbaugh back, making every dad joke he can on his way here. It's pretty surprising, seeing not surprising seeing him go to the Chargers, but pretty surprising that everyone seems so kind of open to it, a little kind of no trepidation kind of coming into this here. So, I mean, this is a Chargers team that's kind of desperate for a change, and I think Jim can and probably will be that.
I mean, he can't fuck this up worse than Brandon
Yeah,
Staley did,
no,
right?
I think that's pretty impossible. Um,
But what I thought was interesting about the Jim Harbaugh hire is that everybody talked about whoever hired Jim Harbaugh was also more than likely going to draft the quarterback from Michigan.
yeah, exactly.
So does that mean we're out on Herbert?
Um, well, I think so, honestly. He might get, I mean, can he get traded? Is
I
that
mean, that
like
would be
a
the
thing?
best. That would be the best move.
Yeah.
Would be to trade him if you think you're going to bring him in, or you Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love this, and
Mm,
you bring him in, you let him get a couple years on the bench,
hmm.
then you make that decision. Because it never
I
hurts to
think,
have two good QBs.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean,
Because
shoot.
unlike other teams that are in need of a quarterback, the Chargers have a decent quarterback, albeit a Baker Mayfield esque
Yeah.
quarterback. He's
Hmm.
not bad.
Hmm.
So I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
Jared Mayo is the coach of the Patriots.
Hmm.
Cincinnati's offensive. No. No, no, no. I'm missing someone here. I think it's the Ravens defensive coordinator is going to be the new coach of the Seahawks. They've already kind of lined it up to make it happen. They just haven't made the official hire.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They
Oh,
were
nice.
waiting for the Ravens to be kicked from the playoffs. That happened this
Yep.
last week. So they have moved to interview him, and with Washington taking Dan Quinn, that's the only other spot for a defensive coordinator to really make sense.
Yeah. There you go. You mentioned the Bengals here, and that kind of brings me back to some of the good news that's been kind of going on with here with the Raiders
Mm-hmm.
coaching staff was you remember old Hugh Jackson, janitor turned head coach for the Raiders way
Yeah.
back in the day, took up head coaching position for Bengals there for a little bit. He just got an interview for the Raiders staff once again here, dude. Antonio Pierce
Oh,
trying to bring back some of that old magic touch they used to have back in the day. So I'm thinking this is nothing but good news as far as a Raiders fan goes. This bolsters that image that he's been wanting to double down on, and it pretty much cements his position there as head coach. I think a lot of the players are going to respect that move, and I think it
yeah.
just makes sense.
You said offensive coordinator, right?
I think so. It's either because I think their defensive coach just got hired as well. I
Because you know
forgot
who
who.
I saw is getting also interviewed by the Raiders as an offensive coordinator, right?
Yes, this is.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, dude. What do you think
I
about that?
I think that's a bad move. I think
Think it's a bad move?
I I don't know. I'm torn because I don't think everything that happened with the Cardinals is Cliff Kingsbury's fault. But then I look
Yeah,
at the coach that replaced him and what he took with way less. Like
and did a lot better.
he didn't do
Yeah.
better. Like they still only had like 4 wins, but they played
hmm
hard for him.
Yeah, that's true. I think with the pieces that will be around him, I think he'll be able to manage a team no problem.
Right, and this
Um,
is this is a coordinator, not a coach, so he doesn't have to make all the decisions. He's really just making the offensive scheme. So I think that's
yeah.
kind of his realm.
Which I mean, let's be honest. He's gonna have a good time. Like, no problem taking care of that. I mean, if he has good previous experience, I think anyone kind of jumping into the system that Pierce is kind of setting up is gonna have a good success.
Right, right. Offensive coordinators. Speaking of them, crazy one for me is Arthur Smith being the Steelers' offensive coordinator. To me, it doesn't
Yes.
make any sense. It
Yeah.
The Atlanta offense didn't utilize the talent that it had.
hmm
Like it moved the ball just fine, I
Yeah.
guess. But I don't know. If I was an owner and I had 5 players out on the field playing skill positions and I'm paying a couple of them several $1 million,
hmm
I don't want to see the ball going to the free agent signing that I just pulled off the street somewhere.
True.
Like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
great
Good
trick.
point.
Like it throws them off. It makes the defense play honest. You have to cover everybody, but like we're paying these guys millions of dollars because they're the best at their position.
Yeah.
Throw them the
Yeah.
ball. Give them the
Yeah.
ball.
That's
Let them
true.
run.
I think that should be reflected in targets, but not necessarily in play calling um, type of game flows. I think a lot of game theory kind of gets overlooked that I think should be taken advantage of. This is something that I'm going to delve in next season here with the Raiders because I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that coming up here. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got coaching wise? Who who else locked in? I forget the name of Atlanta's new
Um,
coach, but
I,
it's new blood, and
yeah,
it looks like he's got a new approach than Arthur Smith. It sounds
true.
like they're going to get Bijan the ball, they're going to
Yep.
get Drake London the ball, and they're going to get Kyle Pitts the ball. Finally.
Yep. Yeah, finally is right, dude.
Now, that being said, Kyle Pitts should be nowhere but on your waiver wire through week 1 until we see anything for anybody playing fantasy.
Unless you got some people that don't really know what they're doing, sell them high, get those picks in underneath them. See if there's
But
some exciting tight ends, which there
he
have been
can't be your
plenty
starting
popping
tight
up.
end. This is
No,
a
no,
late
no.
round pick. Like
Agreed. Yeah,
it,
backup at the most.
right,
I'm like round like, oh gosh, 14.
right.
Like maybe then.
Who else had coaching positions? So we talked about the Patriots. Raiders
Yep,
hired Pierce.
yep.
Chargers did Harbaugh. Steelers are going to do, or not Steelers. Seahawks are going to do Ravens defensive coordinator,
Yep.
which I thought was interesting because this is a double-edged sword of why they hired this guy.
Mhm.
They brought him in specifically because his defense does best against the Kyle Shanahan West Coast offense. He has figured it
Ooh.
out. But the problem is is that if you bring in a coach specifically to deal with one team, that leaves you open to have problems elsewhere.
Oh yeah,
Not to say
someone
it
else is
is
going to figure out your formula.
right. Not to
100%.
say it is, because right now it looks like that West Coast kind of lateral offense is working really well. Just get the
Yeah,
ball into the hands of your best players, have them take off. But
true. Dude,
uh,
yeah. If lateral West Coast play is like the cream of the crop right now, golly, did the Raiders miss out? They ran nothing but that back in 20, gosh, what was it? 2017, and it was nothing but a nightmare.
you're not comparing the making complete defenses play often honest by having one guy run deep and then running some shorter routes and getting the ball into your best players versus the screen offense that was run where
No,
it's get the ball behind the line.
I'm talking pure laterals, like ditch it to the side as fast as you possibly can and try and pick up 3 yards, you know?
Oh yeah, no, that's not the play. When I mean lateral, is that it's a lot more quarterback out of pocket movement.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay,
we're
so
the pocket becomes more fluid
yeah.
in that we're not just dropping straight back. We're starting to go left and right to kind of figure out where the defense holes are.
You know, that all being said, throughout this season, I've seen QBs that kind of play in that kind of echelon, like let's say Patty Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, kind of struggle when it comes to doing that. I don't know exactly why, but there's been less success this year than the last couple.
I think it has to do with the fact that it's planned versus natural movement. If you plan to move
Okay.
out of the pocket, that means the defense is going to react immediately versus the pocket's collapsing and you scramble out to the side. Everybody is a
Yeah.
lot closer.
Hmm.
So ideally, the lateral offense should be running that the pocket is designed to collapse a certain way so that the quarterback can get outside.
Okay.
But I mean, if you know
That
you're going to
makes more
scramble
sense.
outside, you tend to want to jump a little early, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit here if I know that that left guard is about to let that tackle go through so he can collapse into the pocket.
Hmm.
Um, but that doesn't mean that that's going to necessarily work every time. And if you
Yeah.
know it's coming, you just sit a QB spy in the middle, and it's like, all right, wherever he goes, just shadow him.
True. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you have to do that anyways with quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes,
Yeah.
Tua to an extent,
Justin Fields.
Justin
Mhm.
Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So
True. True.
it's,
True.
I mean, I like the way the offense is moving. It's moved a lot more to like high scoring like offenses,
Hmm.
whereas which I will. No, hang on. I'll wait. I'll get back to that later because
Yeah.
when we talk about the playoff
These
games that we
last
saw,
matchups. Yeah.
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 Uh,
Nothing but what you're describing right now has taken place in all the wrong ways.
well, no, because what I was going to say, and I guess we can kind of switch now to the playoff games, is that the
Yeah.
Chiefs' offense went from so dynamic to really relying on their defense.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see because once again, I'm trying to think back. A lot of Super Bowls that have been played are a good offense meets a good defense. Who's going to win? And we have it again here.
Yeah.
The Niners defense is, I think, 13th or 14th in the league right now.
Yeah.
They're not doing good for what they should be doing.
For
Like
what
they
they've
look
been.
good.
Yeah.
They look good on like TV and the eye test because
Highlights.
they make the
Yeah.
big plays. Right.
Yeah.
They make the
Hmm.
big plays that when they matter.
Yep.
But that the offense is what's carrying them. And
Oh,
as much as
100%.
I dislike Brock Purdy, I got to put some respect that Mr. Irrelevance made a name
Oh,
for
yeah.
himself.
I agree. He has made a name for himself this season,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't feel good, you know? I mean,
Right.
it's going to be one of those litmus test things that you had with Joe Burrow, you know. I'm going to need to see another season before I subscribe to it, though.
Right.
You know?
But on the other side, you have this Kansas City team that while it does have Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick
Mhm.
Mahomes is a wild card in any game, like he could go off, you are really relying on this Chris Jones led defense. Chris
Yeah.
Jones might not be the leader of the defense, but you know what I mean. Like
Hmm.
this defense has become a stalwart. Like the
Yep.
Kansas City has won
Hmm.
17-10. Like they're all under 20-point games. The defense is
This
just
all
holding the
being
offense.
said, I think what we're seeing here is a defense that has been kind of misconstrued due to a lack of calls. I'm thinking this defense fouls more than what they're actually getting called out for.
I mean, of
And
course.
I don't know how accountable this Super Bowl is going to be. I think it's going to be a really low foul call game. I'm saying over under on fouls. I think it's going to be under 6 fouls that we see in this Super Bowl.
6 fouls each team?
Six
Because
fouls, both teams.
no way. You're thinking like 4-2. There's no way. I think we get. Are we talking
I'm thinking
specifically for the defense versus the offense, or are we saying just the entire team? Because false
just the
starts alone are
defense
going to
versus
cost.
offense. Yeah,
False
no,
starts alone
just
are going to count for 6.
yeah. No, I'm saying defense versus offense.
I could see that. I could see because the defense gets favored, and then the
Hmm.
Niners' offense gets favored. So now it's like, which one are you doing?
Exactly. Right.
Uh,
It's going to be pretty interesting to see.
yeah. I
Also
am.
makes the attention completely away from the Kansas City offense, which is the only thing the announcers are going to be talking about.
Right. Well, I mean, they have a young core in Rashid Weiss and Isaiah Pacheco. They
Yep.
stole him in the draft. Fine.
Yep.
Travis Kelce is good. He will
Yeah.
always be good.
Hmm.
And so I don't.
I mean, not always. I mean, honestly, I see him retiring either next year or
I mean,
the
if they
year
win it
after.
all this year,
I mean, do
could
you
he
think
retire
so?
here? I mean,
I
come on.
mean,
He's
yeah,
he's going to
yeah,
retire as one of the top tight end of the league right now. One of the top
yeah,
tight ends of all time. Dating Taylor Swift, won the
yeah,
Super Bowl. I'm fucking out. I'm
yeah,
out.
dude. I
I
mean,
won.
you're
I won a
completely right.
life.
Like, he
I'm
has been
done.
on such a media streak, like
Right.
intense media streak this last like year and a half. Started a podcast, is pretty much like stepping into his, as Aaron Rodgers would say, Pfizer role. Just like being Ken doll,
Right.
and
So it's
is no doubt setting up a career here pretty quick.
could retire now and be just fine.
Could retire now, be just fine.
Even if him and Taylor Swift don't work out, he
Oh
could
yeah,
retire now and be fine.
oh yeah, 100%.
So I saw an interesting debate, and I want to pose it to you since we talked about tight ends, and we'll go back to the playoff games. We're kind of bouncing all over the place here, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
true. Yeah.
Who's better, Gronkowski or Travis Kelce?
Travis Kelce.
Really?
No doubt in my mind. I
Oh,
remember growing up watching Rob Gronkowski get away with it day after day after day. I'll tell you what, Travis Kelce actually does have some talent, can actually leap up for the ball and come
oh,
down and make plays. Rob Gronkowski got, I want to say, average of like 3 throws a game, but they were all like 30-yarders because no one was guarding his ass because he didn't make a play the entire fucking game.
you
The
got to put
entire
some
game.
respect on Prime
He was
Gronk.
a
Prime Gronk
highlight
is
tight end, no doubt.
no way. I mean, this is why it's a debate, but I think Prime Gronk smokes Kelsey. If they were both in the league
Hell,
right now, Travis Kelsey is an afterthought. Travis Kelsey
oh
is how
my
Mark Andrews
God.
is to Travis Kelsey right now.
Oh
A good
my
tight end, but
gosh.
never gets
Slap.
talked about.
Could have had a V8 moment 5 times over, dude. Rob Gronkowski was terrible. Tom Brady was obviously the one carrying the whole friggin' operation on his back.
There's no way. Let's see.
I think there's a better connection between Mahomes and Travis Kelce than there was between Brady and Gronk,
I mean, the connection, yeah, I'll give you that. But I think Gronk was just
Thus
such a
making thus
cornerstone of
making
that offense.
Kelsey thus making Kelsey a better player than Gronkowski. The only thing he needed to do was put his hands up, and he's already got the ball at 30 yards.
But I mean, I'm looking at this from 2010. So in his 11-year career, 5 double-digit five double-digit TDs. 1, 2, 3,
Hmm.
4, 4,000 yard seasons, over 1,000 yard seasons, like averaging 13 to 15 yards a reception throughout.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
mean, I just
Yeah, dude.
we're talking about, and you're right, he is a highlight tight end, but he's a highlight tight end because he was a monster of a man.
Dude,
Like,
sure, yeah, he's got a good build. He's got the whole tight end, look going for him. Man, this is prime. cheating Belichick. This is prime deflated balls Belichick. This is prime cheating Patriots. This is all bad coming for Rob Gronkowski.
I don't know. All right. Well, hang on. Let's see Travis Kelce's stats through this point. I think he's played a little bit less time, right?
I think so. Yeah.
But are we
Broncos
really
playing
counting
for a long
the
time.
Buccaneer years?
Nah.
Like, so let's see. So about the same time, he's 10 years in.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
have, out of his 10 years, 3 double-digit touchdown seasons, and that's
Mhm.
including this year. And I will give him credit that he gets more receiving yards because it's 7,000-yard seasons. But mind
Yeah,
you,
dude.
besides
He
Tyreek
works.
Hill, they haven't
He
thrown it.
works for his team. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And 2013 he didn't have any stats. He didn't play. So 2014. So it's actually 9
Okay.
years, even though he's been in the league for 10. And
Okay.
then, but he's averaging less yards. So
Mm.
it's 12 to 13.
Yeah.
We're talking about though 2 of the best tight ends in the league
Yeah.
in the history. So
Of
sure.
the game. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Yeah.
This is
I
kind of
mean.
like the LeBron Jordan debate
Yeah.
for tight
Yeah.
ends.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Minus no, this is the LeBron Kobe debate for tight ends. Minus oh, why am I forgetting his name? Oh my goodness.
Minus Tyrell Owens.
No. He's a announcer
Shannon
now.
Sharp. Oh.
It's not Hernandez. Why can I not? I can see
He's a
his
QB.
face.
Man, who are you talking about, dude?
Tony
Look it up. Look it
Gonzalez.
up. Tony Gonzalez. Yeah,
Fuck,
true.
I knew I forgot about him. Like I could see his stupid face.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. I don't like pretty much everything before like 2004, like I am an infant towards, I have no clue like what
And I
was
mean
going on.
that's fine, but Tony Gonzalez was one of the best tight ends of all time. So,
Yeah.
and I know saying he's Jordan is a stretch. There's other tight
Yeah,
ends,
true.
I'm sure, going way back.
Yeah, going
It's
way
the same,
back.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing
yeah.
that we talk about with like Wilt getting his 100-point game. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great, but he's
it's like
playing
yeah.
against people that are 6 feet tall. Like,
Yeah,
come
exactly.
on.
There's no way.
All right. So you want to
Oh,
talk
man.
some playoff football from last week?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Did we even talk about the games before that?
We did.
We did? Okay.
We did that. I'm pretty sure we did that week because we picked the Lions and the Ravens, and we went 0 for 2.
Yeah, Mom.
Uh,
Dang. Oh well. All right, yeah, let's talk about these games. So let's start with what we were talking about, right? Kansas
Okay.
City. Kansas City,
They
who they play? Lions?
they played the Ravens. They won in the
Ravens?
first quarter. The Ravens
Yeah.
defense fell apart. They got 17 points in the first
Yeah,
quarter and
dude.
didn't score again.
So
And-
heartbreaking. In Baltimore, too. Like, I saw a team dismantle themselves in that first quarter as well. It was
So-
extremely sad to see.
Leading receiver on the team was Zay Flowers for the Ravens. Do you know the second
Yep.
leading receiver?
It wasn't OBJ.
It was not OBJ.
It was, it starts with an R.
It was not. It wasn't him
No?
either.
It was like that. It wasn't the rookie?
No, Zay Flowers is the rookie.
Oh.
There's Mark Andrews, OBJ.
It
I forget
wasn't
the
Mark
kick returner's
Andrews.
name. I know who you're talking about, though. It wasn't him.
Okay.
The one that had the big play factor. He was just fast.
Yeah.
They would just
Okay.
send him downfield. It wasn't him. He didn't have any catches. He had a couple punt returns. Second
Ugh.
leading receiver on that team was Lamar Jackson with 13
Not
yards.
surprised.
13 yards.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awful. They couldn't run the
Man,
ball.
dude.
They struggled.
Terrible.
They kept trying to throw when they should have run. And then the
Mhm.
runs, when everybody knew it was coming, were getting swallowed up.
Yeah, I
This
could
is-
agree with that.
Derrick
It was-
Henry to the Ravens makes this team a Super Bowl contender.
Oh, I mean, they win it, right?
Like,
But I mean, it's like a day late and a dollar short. But
Right.
like the team really did dismantle themselves. Like Sure, they had a tic-tacky call in the beginning, but they let it get to them, and that's really what started dragging them down. Once
and
that happened, it turned into a snowball, and it just went downhill.
some bonehead mistakes, like the
Yep,
fumble
bonehead
on that
mistakes.
should have been a touchdown.
Yep.
If Zay Flowers gets that touchdown, we are talking about a different game. There's a chance Ravens are in the Super Bowl.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah. I mean,
insane.
yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City really kept their cool through this one.
It
I
really shows the experience
yeah,
of making deep playoff runs versus not.
being the new guy on the block. Yeah, I
I
agree.
do hate that this continues the narrative that Lamar Jackson can't win in the postseason because he's one
I
and
mean, he
four
won a
now.
game.
Oh, he's two. That's right. He's 2-5,
Yeah,
or
he's
two
two
and
and
four.
five.
But that's
Yeah,
still
whatever.
not good numbers.
I mean, like honestly, postseason numbers, you could really take them or leave them, in my opinion. It's really all about how well you can get your team together, and they just didn't have it together this time.
True.
You know, and that's
Um,
just a simple, simple as that. And I think that message carries through to the other game here. If you want to start with this one.
yeah. I'm gonna ask. I know the answer to this question, but is the Lions falling apart in the postseason against the Niners here? Like it royally fell apart.
Is it against the Niners? No.
Is it no. Is it well, they blew a 21 point lead. They gave up
Oh yes. How could I
27
forget?
points unanswered.
Um.
Is it
hmm.
their is this their swan song? Is this the farthest that they get with Dan Campbell and with this team?
Oh no. I like we've talked about this in the past. Like um, this is a not even ready Lions team yet. This is not a finished team. This is still up and coming. Like next year and the year after that, those are the years you're going to want to be looking at the Lions.
True.
They have a really good formula, a really good recipe. As long as they stick to it, they're going to be really lethal in these next few seasons.
I think so too, but I saw it as a conversation piece and I was like, damn, that would really suck. Like this
Yeah,
was the year. So
I mean that is most certainly the sentiment and the feeling like coming out of the game. Just because, sure, you get all those like pop-up stats of, oh, they haven't been here since the '80s, they haven't been able to do this, they haven't been able to do that until right now. That doesn't mean that they're not going to do anything in the future. You know?
no, and that's true. And they have a good team. Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameer Gibbs,
Yeah,
David Montgomery's resurgence has been insane for this
nuts,
team.
dude. Yeah. Hmm.
Jared Goff. So
Yeah, I mean, like, let's not really take away from the Niners either. Like, they
no, no,
have
no.
they have a Terminator style team right now.
Which is going to fall
Um,
apart just like it has to.
maybe,
Well,
maybe.
it
I mean,
when it
they've
comes
gotten
time when
away
it
with
comes
it for
time to
so
pay it.
long, dude. I mean, like,
True, but when
it
it
comes
comes
time to
time to
pay it.
pay, you got to cut somewhere, and we're already seeing it affect. They're going to go through the same thing the Chiefs are going to go through. How
Yeah,
bare bones can we get and still win?
true.
Fine.
I mean, I remember looking at their last Super Bowl highlights, and that was a team that had Richard Sherman on it, dude. You know,
That was also
like,
a team that had Emmanuel Sanders on it. Jimmy G
yeah,
overthrew him. Yeah,
yeah, dude. Like,
yeah.
every time they show up, dude, they have these stacked teams. Like, I'm gonna guarantee they're gonna have it in the future as well.
Oh yeah, they've become kind of like how LA is for the Lakers are for the NBA. This is the destination
Yeah,
team. You want to play for
yeah,
the Niners, like
yeah. That's true. That is true.
so. I mean, all in all, it was a good game. It was fun to watch.
Yep.
Sucks if you're a Lions fan. That stings because you were looking at a playoff. But hey, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make
True.
this take right now.
Hmm.
Lions in the next 5 years gonna go to the
Take a
Super
ring.
Bowl twice. I think they're gonna win once.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to know who that? And I'll even go further. One of those two matchups that they win, or one of those two matchups could be the winner of the loss against the Texans. I'm just saying it now. I'm putting it out here into the
Ooh.
ethos. I think
Ooh.
that's gonna be it. I think it's.
I,
I
you know,
think,
I appreciate that. You know,
and you know who
and
they're.
hey,
I mean,
I'm gonna
and
say, hey, Raiders gonna make it for the next 5 years. Let's go. Come on, I gotta be a fan. Let's do
I think they could. So
I think they could.
this is me being a Dolphins fan, knowing the team stack that we have. I'm looking at this from the sense that both of those teams have insanely good young cores. And
Yes.
before I get anybody jumping down my throat anywhere. Check us out on Twitter. We we have the Packers, who also made a pretty big jump as a young team.
Yes, no one thought they would see them
No.
here in the postseason this year.
But and I'm going to put an asterisk next to theirs because they popped off later in the season. Fine,
They did.
They had a rough start, but also in the time that they started popping off, a lot of injuries happened. A lot of injuries that started to affect the quarterback. So yeah, you get to play the Vikings twice, who don't know who their quarterback is. Oh, you get the Bears twice. Oh man, that sounds so rough.
Out. Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly.
Oh, you beat the Bengals? Who was their quarterback? Jake Browning?
I couldn't even tell you, dude.
Yeah, like come on.
Tyler
and you know what's even worse?
Had a time in there. Who knows?
Yeah, one of those wins against the Bears was the Tyler Bagent.
Yeah,
I'm saying that right. Great.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, you beat the Jets, the revenge game against Aaron Rodgers. Who's the quarterback?
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback? Guy who doesn't even want to play by the end of the season. I don't want to be here anymore.
True.
So,
this is true. This is true.
But that's the asterisk. I'm not taking away from the team that you built. I was a little mean in that, but that wasn't intentional. I do like the core that they've put together.
No, they have put together a good team.
Going back to the Niners.
Mm-hmm. Niners Lions. Yeah.
I think their defensive coordinator is on the hot seat right now. Again, because 13th ranked defense, but stats wise, the Niners have given up the most points in the postseason.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, mind you, the Chiefs are holding everybody to under 10, but it's still a lot, and that makes a huge difference come postseason or come Super Bowl. So
agreed.
Which I'm going to use.
You think we see a missed field goal in the Super Bowl?
They don't trust Moody. I don't think they trust Moody that much.
I don't think
maybe.
either team trusts their kickers, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you see like the strategies they were employing to avoid having a kicker on the field?
Yeah. Doesn't matter what down we're going. We're going for it.
Nuts, dude. Invest in your kickers teams. They win games.
Right? Like
yeah.
Oh my goodness. But I was gonna say we can use the defense coordinator in the hot seat to segue into who in this Super Bowl right now, because now we can move on to the Super Bowl. We've talked about playoffs. Who has the most to lose and gain in this?
Oh, definitely Kansas City is like the top dog right now.
Well, I mean, but not necessarily teams, but like individuals themselves. Like I think a good example of this would be Christian McCaffrey, because the only thing that Christian McCaffrey has to his name right now is that he beat LaDainian Tomlinson's record for most combination yards from scrimmage. So either passing or receiving by a collegiate player. Yeah.
Wow.
But
that's nuts.
You would think a player like that would go on to win the Heisman, but he doesn't. He loses it to Derrick Henry. So he's not a Heisman winner. He won none of his bowl games. He actually sat one of his bowl games out to set up for the draft. He goes to the Carolina Panthers, gets to one playoff win, and that's it. Has nothing to his name. He's not even in conversation for being an MVP anymore. So it's like
I think he still is.
No. It's I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson for sure, but it gets a Pro Bowl nod, cool. Gets an all-team, cool. That's a lot of people get that. He needs the Super Bowl. Like he needs the Super Bowl for his legacy. And
he does.
Yeah, so
and especially for being an RB that's known to be injury prone, this is obviously the push that he's wanted. He was even like telling coaching staff and stuff like that he wanted while that last game was going on. So this is no doubt CMC's team.
Well, and it's crazy when you think about the fact that he lost the Heisman to Derrick Henry and how they've had such vastly different careers.
Yeah,
both are good. But one team has been going nowhere fast, and the other team is now in the Super Bowl. Now, Panthers suck. Thank God he got off that team. But
let's not forget that his stint with the Panthers there,
But they didn't. I don't think they ever had a losing record. They even went 8-8 the year he got traded.
Are we sure about that?
Because he was there after Cam Newton, right?
He was there, yeah, after Cam. I'm pretty sure well after Cam. Is he the
He
same class
came,
as Derrick Henry?
yeah. So they both came in 2016. Let's see. So 2016. Oh, he had one losing rate. Two. Oh, they had more than that. They sucked.
Yeah, dude, they sucked. But like that being said, he was injured like 80% of those seasons, you know.
True.
So, I mean, it's really hard to nail anything down with him. So I agree with you that he does have a lot to lose here, but no doubt in my mind, Kansas City's on top. You know, like they have all the star power behind them. You know, they have all the glitz and glam, all the media. They have the biggest turnaround from any team we've seen here. You know, like
Yeah.
they were playing absolutely terrible football not 4 weeks ago. You know,
True.
so I don't know
True.
what got injected into their system this last month, but hey, they're playing better. You know, all to
Yeah.
them. All to them. I will throw out my opinion here, though. This is one of the worst Super Bowls, even worse than this exact same matchup Super Bowl than last time.
You think so?
Yeah, one of the worst Super Bowls I think we're gonna see.
You know, it'd be. Yeah, I could see it either being a defensive standstill or one team is just going to step on the gas and you have the Denver Broncos, Seattle Seahawks, where Russell
True.
Wilson just ran the ball up. Like it
Yeah.
was like 41 to
Electric.
7. Yeah.
True.
So
Yeah. No.
I could agree. I hope it's good. I hope it's competitive, but
Yeah, me too.
there's
I
not
hope we
there's not a
see
lot of
some good football.
storylines here. I mean, I guess you could argue Mr. Irrelevant
Dude,
versus
tons
Patty
of
Mahomes,
storylines. Tons
but
of storylines.
I know there's storylines, but
This storylines
it's
for people
not
that don't enjoy football, though. You know, like people that have been following all this, this is one of the driest matchups we've seen in a while. But as far as like sale numbers go, this is going to be nuts. You know,
yeah. Yeah. I think I'm debating or whether or not this player is affected by this. But not affected, but has a lot riding on this, and I think it is Brock Purdy. I think I am going to say that it's Brock Purdy has a lot riding on this because again,
maybe.
well, he has to prove he's worth more money in the offseason. He can't just come in and say like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I went for Mr. Irrelevant. You got to pay me more than that." It's like, "No, you are
he has
Mr.
to prove
Irrelevant.
himself. Yeah, true.
You have so
Yeah,
much more scrutiny on you.
he
You get a
still throws
Super Bowl win in
picks.
your first
You know, yeah,
you get a
he
Super Bowl
still.
win in your first 2 years.
Hmm.
I mean, you're set.
His scrambles still look scary. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
there was a whole bit with George Kittle talking about how he scrambles and how he looks like a water lizard running on water out of the
Yeah, that's
pocket, dude.
true.
I was like, yeah, he looks
Uh
scary getting out of there, dude. Like he's gonna get like nailed and the ball goes flying back into their own end zone.
yeah, cuz they were yeah, man. I was just trying to think. They just talked about oh, right. He was talking about even this offseason, even though they made the playoffs last year, the team was still talking about if they could get Tom Brady out of retirement, they would replace Brock Purdy in a heartbeat.
Oh
And
yeah,
so it's
100%.
like, yeah, you have some like this Super Bowl silences so much of the hate
Hmm.
because you can't just make it. You make it and you lose. It's like if you don't ever get
Yeah,
back in the time on this contract, good luck.
true.
So
Gosh, dude.
I think this does have a lot on Travis Kelsey as well
Oh
because
yeah.
because
He's not
it's
like it's not going to be like we said. It's not going to be a good offensive situation. It's going to be Pachenko, 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 and then it's going to be maybe a deep pass here or there, and then all defense. You know?
right. And so it's not I mean, it has but I also think it goes even further than that. Like you retire, you could retire. Like you won, but it
Hmm.
more than that, his brother looks like he's going to retire. So there's a chance they make this exact same Hall of Fame class, which would be insane.
Yeah, that would be
If
insane.
you win, it kind of locks it in. Like you could do it,
True.
but
True.
and I also think it impacts his legacy because he is the best receiver on that team.
Oh, I agree. I think
So
that it does impact his perception as well, but not for me. Not for me. I've seen what you've done there, Kelsey. I gotta say, it's pretty admirable. Pretty admirable. Join the spot
I
for on the pod here, guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I also think Andy Reid could retire if he gets this win, and that
Yeah,
puts a
I
lot of
have heard.
flux on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I've heard about that as well.
And also, I
Uh,
think if the Chiefs win, I think this is the first point where we can start to talk about is this not going to be better than, or is this going to be better than the Patriots dynasty that just came before them? Because the
it would
Patriots went,
depend. Yeah, it would depend on next year because Kansas City bled this year. You know, they gotta
yeah.
lick their wounds and get it back together. If they're still looking sloppy next season, I think this
Well,
last season is where we could have scrapped their dynasty.
but it just shows that they can win with a good offense or a good defense. Is what I guess what I'm hinting at is that the
Okay.
Patriots had years
I
where
wouldn't
they
argue
had.
they have a good defense though.
I mean, it's like top five
Maybe.
stats
They
wise. No,
like
it's like legitimately top five stats wise.
really?
Something like that. It's higher than the. It's way higher than the Niners. I know that. Uh,
Sheesh.
yeah, they've been doing work. So
That is
it's
pretty surprising.
it's kind of just you've recreated the same thing. You have a good quarterback that you constantly cycle players around to try and find any kind of matchup, but he doesn't care because he's going to score touchdowns anyways.
Yep.
So, I mean, is it crazy to say seven Super Bowl wins? No.
True. Um,
So it's just
yeah,
going to
that'd be
be.
kind of nuts.
I
How many
think
do they have
that's
right now?
two,
Two? Yeah.
two.
Two or one?
No, I think it's two, and they are. And Patty Mahomes is on track to be in a better way stats wise to beat Tom Brady early
Yeah.
on. So,
Yep.
a lot going on with that.
True. Yeah.
You want to, I mean, I guess we should talk about because it's coming up this weekend is the Pro Bowl, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't seen too much on it. I haven't really been paying attention too much. I've seen lots of highlights.
I mean, we can go
But
through the teams.
yeah, who
I've
are
got
some of
them
the
up.
yeah.
So, the three quarterbacks who were
hmm
picked for the NFC
Let's
are,
guess. Let's guess.
yeah, I've already seen it, so you can guess. Give
All
me
right.
some names.
Uh, Lamar Jackson's getting a nod and or playing, right?
NFC, that's AFC.
Oh, NFC. Ooh, I'm saying two is AFC, huh?
Yeah.
Dang, I can never get the distinction between those. Um, gosh,
So
there were so many terrible QBs. Um,
I will tell you that everybody on this list was a starter at the start of this season for
at the
quarterback.
start of the season. Okay,
So it's not any of the backups. You don't have to like try and remember names to be like, oh man, like Josh Dobbs, did he make it? No, it's
true.
all career starters.
Okay. I'm saying, man, Patty Mahomes.
That's still AFC. I mean, we can go
Dang.
down to AFC since you're just guessing AFC
Yeah,
teams.
might as
Hang on,
well
let me.
do AFC. Yeah.
Hey, we'll do AFC first. Let me find them. Let's see. All right. Oh, is that the NFC? Oh, I just have to click on AFC. Got it. Got it.
Nice.
Here we go. So you said Lamar Jackson. He is second. You said Patrick
Okay.
Mahomes. He's third.
And I said
Um,
Tua.
oh, and Tua is number one. You're missing one more. He is
Ooh.
replacing Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson because they're both have refused to go to the Pro Bowl.
Okay. Um.
Sorry, there's two. There's two more you're
Okay.
missing.
Hmm. Hmm. Can we say Justin Fields?
No, because I think you switched.
Gosh.
You're in the wrong division now.
Kirk Cousins?
Still wrong division.
Dang.
Now, why are you going that way?
Man, I
Come
just know
back over to
QBs. I
this.
don't know divisions, man. See, I'm trying to bring people together over here.
All right, so the two replacement subs are C.J. Stroud and Gardner Minshew, and I forgot Gardner Minshew came
Hey.
in later, so he was a backup.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true. Wow. Okay. There you go.
So I
I like
think
it. I like it.
yeah, doesn't
I think
surprise
that's
me.
appropriate. Yeah.
Uh, the running backs are Raheem Mostert, James Cook,
Nice.
and Derrick Henry. James Cook, I feels like
Wow.
surprised me because James Cook really only popped
Raheem
off near the
Mostert
end.
is the one that's surprising me, guy.
Oh, he's like one of the leading rushers. He was
He was
number
one of the leading
one.
rushers, but I think everyone's still kind of counting him out,
I
which
know,
I don't know
but
why, but he's solid as hell.
well, it doesn't matter. He's sitting out anyway, so he's refusing to go. So
Okay,
it's James
there you
Cook
go.
and Derrick Henry. James Cook really does kind of surprise me because he didn't
Yeah,
do much until the end of the season, I
yeah,
guess.
I agree.
Um, wide receivers, kind of no surprise here. Tyreek Hill, who's not going.
Uh,
Um, Amari Cooper, who's not going. Keenan
mhm.
Allen and Jamar Chase.
Oh, there you
Sure.
go. I'm surprised Jamar Chase made it.
I am too, but I also couldn't really think of another receiver. Oh, wait.
Yeah. I
They snubbed
mean,
Stephon.
oh yeah, Stephon Diggs, dude. Um, is it just because like these players don't want to go?
I don't know if it's because they don't want to go, but I don't know if Jamar Chase had a better season than Stephon Diggs.
He definitely did not, but I feel
I
like there
mean,
was
I don't know
lots
if
of
Keenan
receivers that were
Allen
better,
did
you know.
either. So,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Well, there
Tight
you go.
ends are Travis Kelsey, who's not going because they're going to the Super Bowl, of course.
Yep.
David Njoku and Evan Ingram. For,
Nice, dude.
um,
I
and
like it.
Mark Andrews was injured, so yeah.
Nice. Dude, I'm
I'm
so
gonna
glad Njoku made like a good name for himself this year.
yeah.
He is a solid tight end.
Yes, he wasn't for a while, and
Yeah, that's
then
true.
yeah.
He was a very burned individual for a while, unfortunately.
Yes.
But it happens. Sometimes you
Um,
open the oven a little too fast. I hear you, Njoku. I've been there, done that.
yeah.
He got
I'm gonna
burned bad though, poor guy.
I'm gonna skip over the line because while they do a tough job, I don't have a lot to talk about because I don't watch a lot of the line play.
Mm.
So sorry about that. Not
True.
sorry, too much. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're in the NFL getting paid millions and you probably do a great job, but sorry.
Yeah, true.
Defense, we have defensive end is
Hmm.
Miles Garrett, Max Crosby, and Trey Henderson.
Yep.
Max Crosby is not playing because of knee
Yep.
surgery.
Yes.
We have interior linemen of Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams, Justin Matabuke, and DeForest Buckner.
Hey, hats off for the pronunciation. Not surprised with Force or something Bunkner. He's been popping off this season, no doubt.
For the Colts, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have for outside linebacker, we've got TJ Watt, Khalil Mack, Josh Allen, and
Nice.
Jermaine Johnson.
Nice, dude. I'm surprised Khalil Mack is still making it into the Pro Bowl here.
I mean, he was killing it this season for the
He's
Chargers.
killed it every season he has been in
That's
the
true.
NFL.
That's true.
But yeah, uh, just nuts. Nuts to hear that.
Uh, middle linebacker is Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. Roquan Smith being traded from the Bears to the Ravens just had a all-star season from there. So,
Nice.
and then cornerbacks. I mean, there's three. Sorry, the three that I see are Sauce Gardner, Jalen Ramsey, and Denzel Ward. And so,
Oh,
yeah,
there you go. Yeah, be
uh,
respectful.
yeah. And then free safety is Justin Simmons and Minka Fitzpatrick. Ooh,
Mm,
cool.
yeah. Cool, cool,
So
cool.
NFC, I won't make you guess the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah, let
guessing
me.
every AFC quarterback there is.
Absolutely. So quarterbacks are Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
And then we have. Oh, who's Prescott? Oh, okay. If Brock Purdy can't play, so he's being replaced by Jalen Hurts. Baker
Mm,
Mayfield is here to replace Dak Prescott if he decides he doesn't go, and Geno Smith is here to replace Stafford.
nice.
So
Makes sense.
running backs are Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Kyron Williams, and Jameer Gibbs.
Wow.
Receivers are CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Puka Nakua, and
Wow.
he beats out Amon-Ra St. Brown and DK Metcalf, who are alternates.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty nuts. Did did Nakua have more yards than Amon?
Yeah, he was like a rookie receiving yards record holder. He had more.
Yeah. Wow, dude.
Uh,
There you
Tight
go.
end is George Kittle, who can't go.
Yep.
Sam Laporta and Jake Ferguson. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Skipping the line again, I'll just go through the defense, like the defensive line and then
Yeah.
cornerbacks.
Gotcha.
So we've got defensive end of Nick Bosa, Montez Sweat, Aiden Hutchinson, and Demarcus Lawrence.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice, dude. Aiden Hutchinson has been going off the season as well.
yeah, and so is Nick Bosa.
True.
Uh,
Dude, that motherfucker's arms are like fucking
Legs.
out of this fucking, yeah,
Yeah,
fucking nuts for his fucking position, dude. I don't know why. That dude's always been caught in those what are they, like preseason snaps and whatnot.
yeah.
Always flexing on him. I'm like, bro, come on, chill out.
Interior linemen, we have Aaron Donald, of course, Dexter
Yep.
Lawrence, Javon Hargrave, and Kenny Clark.
Nice,
And
nice.
then coming
Respectable.
down to cornerback, it's Dayron Bland. Oh man, I'm gonna say that wrong, and I feel bad. It's Charvarius Ward,
Oh,
uh,
there you go. I
Jalen
think it's
Johnson,
Tavarius or
yeah,
something like that.
Devin Witherspoon, and Darius Slay. So
There you go.
All Star weekend's coming up. Doesn't really matter who's winning. I
Yeah,
mean, I think the actually skills challenges have started. So
yeah. That's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, I've seen some of the highlights from the skill challenges,
yeah,
but yeah, not really anything I have paid attention to close yet.
yeah. So all right, I think we should do some hot takes here,
Yeah,
and
dude,
I
let's do
think
them.
we'll do a hot take and a prediction for the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. All right, hot take. I think here. I think we see. Yeah, I'm gonna say I think we see Travis Kelce retire after this game here, dude.
Well, that's
Regardless
pretty
of the
high.
outcome, win or
Yeah.
lose.
So, and who do you think's going to win?
Who do I think's gonna win? I'm saying. Oh, let me think about it here. I think San Francisco wins here.
Yeah, I got to
And
kind of agree with you.
only reason I say that is because, man, after seeing the Chiefs, everything they've done this season, I just don't think their team stacks up, to a newly reinvigorated 49ers team, which I think this last game has really kind of stirred them up. I think after that half, a lot of the changes they needed to make were happening, and they're looking true to form this season. And I don't think Kansas City is going to have too much to answer for it. I think the star power just outdoes them just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah. I also think it's the Niners because, I mean, I just think the offense, like what you're talking about, like what you're talking about as a team as a whole, is just going to outscore the Chiefs' defense, and the Niners' defense is just good enough to hold up the Chiefs. So
I agree. Yeah. I think they're going to be putting in pressure on that pocket as much as they can, probably to some varying success, and I think it's going to be just enough. I think it's going to be a nail biter, though. I think it's going to be close. I don't really think it's going to be a shutout.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's just going to be a punt fest,
Yeah.
three and out, three and
Yep.
out. So I mean, I hope it's
Yeah.
not. I really do.
I hope it's
But
not
I
as
think
well. Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to be.
True.
And so my hot takes, I've got. Ooh, I've got two.
Okay. Let's hear him. Let's hear him.
I think for this Super Bowl, it's going to be the Super Bowl MVP is going to be a non-quarterback.
Ooh, okay.
Like I'm seeing like a defensive end, defensive line, like Chris Jones getting it, or Nick Bosa if he pops off and has a monster game,
Oh.
or like running backs, like if CMC just carries it. I think that's just
Yeah.
what it is. The second one, I'm going back to my Texans Lions Super Bowl, and I'm going to go even further and say it's going to be not this next season, but the season after. So 2 seasons out.
Hmm.
So I think that's going to be what we're seeing. And I might even just say a little pigeonhole here on a super hot take is that it's on a back-to-back appearance for the Lions in the Super Bowl because they're going to make it next year.
Ooh, all right, all right.
I got three.
I
There
like
we go.
them. Yeah, dude. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said,
I think that's gonna be it. So thank you all for listening, and have a good rest of your day.
later.
Later.